Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Sunday in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Welcome. Jenny, how are you? I am glad you are here. You may like this, what I am going to talk about. Salam. How are you? I'll make this brief but powerful, man. This is going to be, okay. So this is going to be a Bible story, a biblical story. However, I want to give you some suggestions for, let's say, non-Christians, okay, for people who are just non-believers, okay? So it is a bit biblical story, so hopefully on a farm, yeah. This is not a farm story. I have to think about how many farm stories I do know. That's a cool thought, Jenny. I don't know if you agree with me with this one or not, but we live in a world where it would be nice to receive and give, like compassion, tolerance, non-prejudice. It just, all this stuff is going on. And even though we want that for ourselves, but sometimes we're not willing to give that to others, right? Because it may not be as simple to give somebody compassion when you don't like them or you don't care for them or you feel like they've done you wrong, right? Right? Who would disagree with that, right? I mean, this world, every day I feel like I honestly, for the first time, I feel sad about what's going on in the world. Like it's sad, you know. And it'd be nice to give some compassion and tolerance and hey, listen to me. You may be pushed for that. Your patience may be pushed for that, but I want to give you a biblical reference, okay? Because you can be nice and kind and compassionate and understanding when your world is great. Okay. I want you to pay attention to that. When things are going well for you, when your world is like great, you don't have a whole lot of issues, it's easy for you to be compassionate and give love and care for people, right? It's felt that way for a few years. Very sad. That's true, right? So it's easier. It's simple. You just, because you feel it. You're going through a great time, so why not? But then, what about the time when you're going through the darkest time of your life, really hard time, don't like a lot of people, you don't want to meet a lot of people, and then you're supposed to give compassion. All you want is getting compassion and love and not non prejudice and tolerance and all that stuff, right? Well, there's a story in the book of John, and um, that a adulterous Samaritan woman goes to the well to get some water for her family. When she gets to the well, by her surprise, she sees a Jew at the well. Well, a Jew happens to be Jesus. Back in the day, Jews, and some of you may be able to correct me if I'm wrong, Jews would avoid going through Samaritans because they didn't want to meet any Samaritans because at the time they felt like they are impure. So they would take the longer route from Jerusalem to Galilee just to miss Samaritans, right? So when she sees this Jew, because she didn't know who that was, when she sees this Jew, she's really surprised first that there's a Jew sitting at the well, a Samaritan well, right? And the second thing that blew her mind is that not only he spoke to her, but he asked her for some water. And then he obviously proceeds to tell her, who she is, and that he is who he is, that he is the Messiah, if you would. And I know, like, this is a very significant story for Christians, right? I mean, it's a very significant story for Christians, but we're not going to get into that. But I want to talk to you about how we can take this story, this example, if you would, and then kind of incorporate it into our lives. If you're thinking about this is a time where it's pretty rough time. Like, when the Jews are not supposed to meet Samaritans, they're not supposed to. They feel like they're impure. I mean, they're going the longer route to avoid, right? And yet, this Jew, let's not even call him Jesus, this man who happens to be Jewish is not only sitting at a Samaritan well, not only is speaking to her, not only is asking for water, but is treating her with compassion, tolerance, non-prejudice. Never heard that, and I said, really? I can send you this story. And it's in the book of John. So, isn't that amazing, right? You get to, here's what happens, is that this man is treating this adulterous Samaritan, which really is like the worst of the worst in that case, right? And is treating her in God's image, not how he sees the woman. And in a lot of ways, oftentimes, every day in our lives, is not what we do. We prejudge. We're not really compassionate. We don't have a lot of patience for people. We have no tolerance even for ourselves sometimes, let alone for others. Let's be truthful. Sometimes you can't even stand yourself. I know sometimes I can't stand myself, And so in that kind of a situation where everything is going through us, we're translating it through our system, our minds, where we can literally put ourselves aside and treat people in a different way. Now, if you don't believe in the God's image thing, just go, hey, with the compassion, non-prejudice, tolerance, kindness, love, nothing wrong with that. So I know this is a very significant story, as I said, for Christians, but we all can learn from this in a world where, oh my goodness, could you give a little bit more compassion? Because here's the thing, the way you know the world needs more compassion, or let's say tolerance, or non-prejudice, or love, or kindness, all that stuff. The way this is my thought, okay, is you want it. I want it. I would love compassion and kindness and love and tolerance and non-prejudice. I would love that from people. Are you kidding me? Bring it, baby. Let's go. I would love that from people. And if I want that from people, I wonder how many more want that from people, right? And that's where you can kind of just add all these people up, and that becomes the world. It's really that simple, right? It's not just me who wants that stuff. I'm pretty sure most of you would love, even if you're loaded like with compassion and love, you're not going to ever say, you know what, don't give me any more compassion. I'm pretty good right now. That doesn't even make any sense. So I'm asking you, in the worst case scenario, you're listen, worst case scenario, Jewish man, Samaritan well, escaping like all Samaritans, going the long way to get here, and still giving compassion, tolerance, and non-prejudice. I'm asking you to catch yourself in those moments. And I have talked about this before. We get so many chances a day. We get so many chances a day, and I ask you to take advantage of those chances. Hopefully you guys get some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. Jenny, I appreciate you joining me, staying up late. I promise I will get better. I know my promises in this case doesn't really. Anyway, hopefully you guys got some love. And if you feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people. Share it on your wall. Oh, thank you for all the love you guys are giving me on my reels. The last couple ones, they've been kind of tough. The last one I did last night, I don't speak that language. I don't even know the language. Is that bad? That's bad. I should probably know the language. I don't even know the language. Anyway, so I appreciate all the love you guys give me on my reels. I get more creative. I got some coming up. I got a series that I'm putting together, and it's probably going to you guys going to just bust up. It's just going to be awesome. So hopefully I can get the first episode out tomorrow. We'll see. Let's see. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If you know who Master George is coming back to my reels. So anyway, with that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.